The ET-15000 replaces the ET-2750 that I had been using for over 2.5 years. I am enamored with the EcoTank ink system, and this technology has kept me from considering a laserjet printer. I found the ET-15000 making numerous improvements to Epson's first line of EcoTank printers with only a handful of negative issues. What you get: the ET-15000 is conveniently packed with few parts, the all-in-one printer, power cord, setup CD, for those not wanting to use the convenient online setup method, 3 70 ml bottles of cyan, magenta and yellow ink, and one 127 ml bottle of black ink. A simplified poster-like setup instruction sheet is also included. Setup: the ET-15000 setup was relatively simple, but there was a lot of blue tape that needed to be removed, internally and externally, before starting the setup process. Fortunately, the instruction sheet helps identify all parts secured by tape, so finding the tape strips is not a guessing game. Most of the setup process involves filling the ink tanks and charging the ink. The ink bottles are smartly designed to avoid any ink disasters during the filling process, and instructions are clear and simple. You just need to be patient throughout the process. I also found the software setup to be quite simple as well. While a CD-ROM is provided, you are better served using the Epson website to ensure the latest software is installed with the initial printer setup. Why I like the ET-15000: as I've stated previously, I was using a ET-2750 and it was my first exposure to the tank method of ink storage. The tanks completely eliminated my biggest irritation with inkjet printers, those little cartridges that were constantly needing ink refills, which often led to cheaper third-party options that included syringes with ink needle tubes to draw ink and dispense it into those little cartridges, often. The EcoTank method simply and effectively stores enough ink to avoid dealing with the hassles of inkjet printing. Epson states full tanks of ink have the capability to print up to 6,000 pages, which depends on the printer quality settings. While I never counted the total number of pages printed, after almost 2.5 years of use, mostly black/white printing, I still had no need to refill any of the ink tanks. Please note that my printer is primarily for family use, which includes schoolwork for kids and some work-related printing. We do not generally print photographs. I find the EcoTank ink systems an improvement that keeps me using inkjet printers as my primary printing source. The only issue to really consider is that the ink can start drying up if the printer is not used on a regular basis. The ET-15000 is an all-in-one printer, so you can fax, scan, print and copy. What I do like about this printer is that the paper is stored in a drawer and not stacked in the back with the paper sticking out. There is a paper feed slot in the back that allows printing 13x19 pages. Click link in description for more reviews.